Minutes to the gentlelady from Florida, Ms. Ros-Lehtinen, who chairs the Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on the Middle East and North Africa.
Gentlewoman is recognized for 4 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As always, I want to thank our esteemed chairman, Chairman Royce of California, as well as our ranking member, Eliot Engel, who's so wonderfully represented by Mr. Sherman of California. But I thank Mr. Royce and Mr. Engel for authoring this very important resolution, of which I'm proud to co-sponsor. And while I fully support this measure, and I urge all of our colleagues to back it as well, I wish that this resolution was not needed. But sadly, we know better. The fact that we need to bring this up for debate and pass a resolution urging a United States administration to uphold long-standing U.S. policy as it relates to the peace process is telling and also disappointing, Mr. Speaker. These next 2 months are going to be crucial for our friend and ally, the Democratic Jewish State of Israel, and the U.S.-Israel alliance, which must remain ever strong. Israel is facing a constant barrage by the Palestinians and their supporters at the United Nations, and there are indications that Abu Mazen will once again attempt to further his plan for unilateral statehood through the Security Council. Ordinarily, any attempt to dictate a two-state solution or impose parameters on negotiations between the Israelis and the Palestinians would be summarily dismissed by the United States. However, sadly, it has become clear over the past year that this administration may be looking to take unprecedented action, and in fact, we've heard the administration has been actively seeking ways in which it could force the Israelis into making dangerous concessions. I have asked Secretary Kerry, I have asked Ambassador Power, our ambassador to the UN, I have asked Ambassador Patterson, and nearly every administration official who has come before our Foreign Affairs Committee headed by Mr. Royce and Mr. Engel, if President Obama will uphold long-standing U.S. policy and will veto any Security Council resolution related to Israel, and each one has evaded the question, refusing to reaffirm this long-standing, unambiguous, non-controversial policy. We here speak of one-sided resolutions, but that's slick administration talk. Who defines the one-sidedness? It should have been a resounding blanket statement. It's easy that the president believes that the only way to a real and lasting peace between Israelis and the Palestinians must come through direct bilateral negotiations between the two. And lacking that, yes, we will urge the president to veto it. It's not hard. Peace cannot be any short-term achievement on an imposed solution will be far outweighed by the long-term damage that it will cause. Mr. Speaker, this is a lame duck administration. It should go without saying that any action, whether it be at the UN or undertaken unilaterally aimed at forcing solutions to final status issues, will be detrimental to the prospects of peace, and it would harm both Israelis and the Palestinians. So I support this measure strongly, brought forth by Chairman Royce and Ranking Member Engel. I urge my colleagues to support it, to reaffirm long-standing U.S. policy that true peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians can only come between direct bilateral negotiations between them. I urge the administration to not allow the Palestinian scheme of unilateral statehood to gain any legitimacy at the UN. I thank the chairman for the time, and Mr. Speaker, I yield back.
Gentleman